A lot of stuff happening this week, and I just want to start off um, by just with my condolences to all you UK crochet friends out there and family. Just so saddened over the loss of Her Majesty. I cannot imagine what y'all are experiencing right now. I know it's really tough, but I just want you to know that your American crochet friends have you in our hearts and prayers, and we're affected by this too. We just love your country. We love your queen. May she rest in peace. And just to let you know, we're feeling this too. So anyway, I hope you guys are having a good week. I'm just gonna go ahead and start in by saying good morning to everybody in the chat. Looks like we're live. Um, I'm saying hey to Annette. Annette, so good to see you. And oh my goodness, Susan, thank you so much. Susan AB, thank you so much for your kind contribution. Let me go ahead and make a note of that. Um, all right, made a note of that. And I also want to thank Terry, our Archer and Ace, for your kind contribution already. I was looking through some of the comments. Thank you so much. You ladies have brought us up to $85 now towards our next donation, which will be to Rancho 3M, which is a Christian children's orphanage in one of the poorest sections of the world that I've ever been to. And it's a great group of people, an excellent work. So thank you for your kindness there. And I am continuing to match any of the funds towards the super chat, just to let you know, matching them 100% with my own funds. That is going to the Samaritan's Purse, to the Ukraine field hospital there to help the people um, in that dire situation right now. All right, well, I just want to continue saying hey to everybody, to Joni. Um, oh wow, looks like she's going to be with her sister during the chat for an MRI. Joni, I hope your sister, I hope they get the results they want, and I hope things are well. Oh, Red Hook, so good to see you. It's good to see you. And she says, working today, so I will be lurking. All right. And Alana says, hello to everybody. Missed all you last week, but now caught up with you. Ready for crochet news. All right. Well, I have some of that in just a bit. And Linda, Brad's mom, so glad that you could be with us. She says it's a beautiful day in sunny southwest Chicago suburbs. Let me go ahead and adjust my chat here just so that I don't miss any of the chat. It had me on top chat, and I just want to make sure I don't miss any comments. There we go. And Marie, it's so good to see you in the chat. Just a few minutes down the road from me here. And love to craft. Hey, thanks for waving. And Kelly Hart, thanks again for sending that beautiful picture of that doily you made for your mom. And if you guys want to see that doily that Kelly made, just check out my Facebook page. It's posted there right now. Um, she says she found, wow, some more family members. It looks like. Wow, I'm glad that you're able to do that. And Michelle, hey, it's good to see you. I got something in the mail to you. I just went ahead and mailed it. The post office said the computer said that at the post office said that the address you sent did not exist. Of course, I looked it up online and said, yeah, it does exist, and the postman took it yesterday. So just to let you know, it's going to be a little late, but it's on the way. Just kept waiting to hear back, but I just went ahead and sent it. Um, wow, it looks like you're getting some cool weather, so you're ready for the scarves and things. I'm just wearing this because it's cool inside from the AC, not because it's cool outside. But actually, the temperatures have dropped considerably here in South Carolina, and I'm looking forward to getting out and going on a drive this afternoon if I can. I'm a woman with a mission today. I got another fun crochet idea, and since I'm away from my home, I'm away from my stash. So you know what that means? That means I just have to go to the local yarn store and pick out some rock and yarn for this idea. And just so happens that I'm near the Knit and Pearl in Myrtle Beach. I mean, it's about a 40-minute drive for me, but if you all are ever in South Carolina near the beach, near Myrtle Beach, the Knit and Pearl is a fantastic store. Tell them Bonnie sent you. It's one of the nicest, really. Yeah, I mean, I probably say this about all my favorite stores, but seriously, this is one of the neatest, most beautiful, and you've got really sweet, wonderful people there. So, and tell them Bonnie sent you if you get a chance to go. Um, yeah, thanks for all the messages, Kelly. Here. She's like, what's going on? There isn't anyone on the chat, on the live chat anymore. Actually, that's not true, Kelly. I think what you're seeing is the attrition due to the summer months. Because I follow the stats a lot for the channel, and just so that I'm releasing things when I'm supposed to. And I think part of it is that the weather has been so fantastic. People have been outside. They've got better things to do than to watch a video. And I say all the better. That's great. We've been shut up for 2 years due to COVID, and people are finally getting out there and enjoying life, Kelly. I think that's what you're seeing. But a lot of people do check in and watch the replay. Um, and so, yeah, I'm just really thankful for all of y'all who are here with me so that I'm not really talking to myself. And for those of you who watch afterwards, thank you so much because you really are helping my channel to grow. And speaking of channels, let me go ahead and I want to solicit your help. This is something that won't cost you any money. I promise. I don't like to solicit funds from anybody ever. But this is a channel that I really feel strong about. It's one that my daughter-in-law and my son-in-law are both active working on. They're both employees at the Biblical History Center. This is a center in LaGrange, Georgia. For any of you who are in the south of Atlanta, Georgia area, it's a wonderful place to visit, and they have hundreds, literally hundreds of artifacts on loan from Israel here, the ancient artifacts, and you can learn so much there. My daughter-in-law gave me kind of like an hour tour, just a personal tour last year. And I'm going to add, I don't have it in the link now, but I'm going to add a link to a video where you can see where she explained a lot about fiber in the ancient world, and and just how they even today there are groups of people who travel about in the desert, and they still live a very what do you call that, well, anyway, they move about, and they use things that are made of hand woven, handmade items using special fibers, and it's usually a rougher, kind of coarser kind of fibers, but they use that for protection from the weather and all sorts of things. But if you want to get the lowdown on that, please check that link once I put it to the video. It's in the video link, video description. Yeah, but that video is live. If you just look up fiber in the ancient world, you'll find that on my channel. But what I really want you to do is please check out their channel. I did put a link to that. And what they're starting to do is putting little like 2-minute videos up where, it's not like you have to listen to an hour lecture. I mean, they do have those too from the past, but my daughter-in-law, she's the sweetest can be. And my son-in-law is helping to craft these with her. They're putting little 2-minute videos up on just really fascinating subjects, things that I didn't know about. So you don't have to commit to like 10 minutes or even even an hour. I mean, just 2 minutes. And if you could just hit subscribe so that you get the notifications. They have one that's called Roman Catacombs. You get to learn what a Roman catacomb is. I didn't even really know much about that until I went to Rome and saw these things, and they're fascinating, and a lot of it's really important for me personally, because being a Christian, just how a lot of Christians saved their lives by hiding in the catacombs during the times of persecution. And there's also a short video on graffiti from ancient Rome. I mean, how to interpret graffiti, which is really cool. And also little known marriage traditions. Did you know that the bridal veil used to have money attached to it? Wouldn't that be cool? So check that one out. And there's also one on why ancient city streets were dangerous. And I'll give you a hint. PU. I mean, they were really, really, really biologically danger zones. And you can learn about that from Christy on this channel. And again, everything is free. You just subscribe. It doesn't cost anything to subscribe to channels on YouTube, and you would also be helping a nonprofit. So, please consider that. And if you're interested in, archaeology of any kind, Christy has been to Qumran in Israel and has been on archaeological digs. So this chick knows her stuff. So just want you to know that. And I just think she's cute as a button as well. But anyway, she's my daughter-in-law, so I can say all these nice things about her. She's so sweet. My son totally hit the lottery with her. So not that I'm a lottery fan, but he definitely hit the lottery with her. She's a great gal. But anyway, check out. Please subscribe to their channel and check them out. I don't usually ask a lot of you guys, but that's something I feel very strongly about, and I'm really looking forward to next week. I'm gonna go ahead and mention I may or may not be live next Friday. I'm gonna try to go live if I can. But again, if I can't, I'll post a notification in the communities section of the channel. I am actually going down to Georgia, and I'm looking forward to maybe even going to the his Biblical History Center in LaGrange, and maybe just visiting them, and just seeing how things are going, and maybe even take a tour. You can also go on like a physical tour of the place, and you can even schedule a biblical meal afterwards. And there's just so much you can learn there. It's really fascinating. And also, should mention about these videos. I believe they are very kid friendly. So this is not something that I have to give a bunch of warnings about. I think this is a great opportunity for children to learn real historical, archaeology that has, roots in biblical education. It's really a fascinating combination. All right. Next Monday, this coming Monday, just to let you know, I'm going to be releasing a video from the Pittsburgh Creative Arts Festival. It's taken me a while to piece it together. Wasn't able to put as many photos as I wanted to into this, just to let you know that if I got to meet you and your photo's not in there, it's nothing personal. I had some technical issues with the SD card, but most of what I took is available. I had to enlist my husband to help me with that. Every once in a while, I get snookered by technology more than once in a while, but anyway, most of the photos made it in. There are a lot of video clips and some really fun times. And I want you to check it out and see what you think. And I hope maybe next year, if things work out, we could meet in Pittsburgh. That would be fantastic. And I will say that's probably the most economical way to take classes if you're going to have to travel somewhere. Those were the lowest priced classes I have taught to date. So, and I was very happy to be able to do that. All right, and as you can see, I am wearing the Rahab scarf. Let me go ahead and give you an up close. If you can see some of the stitches here. This is doing well on the site. Thank you guys for supporting me with this, and also for supporting Laura, who is the source of the yarn, which I think is still economically priced. I think it's priced at about $25 a hank, which I know so it sounds like a lot of money compared to Michael's and Walmart yarn. But it is natural fibers, hand dyed, and et cetera, et cetera. But do check it out. As far as the high end yarn kind of stuff, hers is very fairly priced. So you can check that out in the video description, or you can use any other kind of fingering yarn. I don't like to push one thing over another. And I know a lot of you watch from outside the US, so whatever fingering weight yarn that you like, this takes approximately 1,200 yards of a fingering weight yarn to make it to this length. Of course, you can make it shorter and probably make do with less. All right, let me go back to saying hey to you guys. All right, and we have hey, Alana, thanks for being there with us. And Linda Jones, she says it's called Fiber. What's this? Okay, she says she finally found the Linda's finally found the yarn company that has alpaca and silk yarn size 3 sport yarn. That's interesting because usually size 3 is referring to DK, and usually 2 is a sport weight, but and I guess there are a lot of different numbering systems out there. Um, she says, called Fiber and Arts, and I wanted to know if it was strong enough for a cardigan. Um, it should be fine, Linda. Just be aware that if you make a cardigan out of alpaca, alpaca does tend to stretch. There's not as much bounce back to it as there would be with wool. So as long as you know that, if you don't mind the cardigan stretching out a bit over time, you should be okay. But with the silk and the alpaca, there's not a lot of bounce back. And that's why a lot of people like to use wool or maybe an alpaca wool blend, as long as it's um, wool that has not been treated to be superwash wool. When wool is treated like what I'm using here to be superwash, there's not a lot of bounce back to it. It does soften the yarn. It makes it washable, easier to care for. But it does change the shaft of the hair that's used to from the sheep. So if you're going to make a cardigan and you want it to hold its shape better and you want it to be alpaca, I would look for an alpaca wool blend that does have some bounce back to it. Just a thought. I tell you what, we can just do a whole broadcast on just yarn questions. So and last week, let me do one more thing. Last week I asked y'all for questions. I didn't get any questions, which is fine, but let's go ahead and change this up a bit. Um, why don't I'm trying to collect questions that would make a really fun, informative video that's obviously not live, but something that I can do some research and actually serve with. So why don't we change it? Ask me anything about yarn. Okay, why don't we just change it to that? Ask me anything about yarn, and please send these to me to my email, which is bonniebay@me.com. I'll go ahead and put my my email here. Okay, send me any questions about yarn, and I will try to put a video together all on yarn, just answering all your questions about yarn. And if in this way, if I can't answer the question like I am trying to now on this spot, I have a couple of very encyclopedic books like this thick back home that has all that you'd want to know about yarn and so much more. And I even have a microscope at home sitting in my living room, thanks to another daughter-in-law. Thank you, Sarah. And is just begging to be used. And I can actually do some microscopic photos if I can to try to help answer the questions to give us a better understanding of how these yarns are so different. Because when you put it under a microscope, these things look incredibly different. So send me your questions if you can in the next week or two, and I'm going to try to put a video together, something during for the slower months of the year, when I know you guys are going to be slammed with Christmas and Hanukkah and all of that. I know you're going to be out there shopping and not going to have time to crochet. Like that's just what happens during that season. But you'll have, I know, plenty of time to listen as you do other things. So definitely send me those questions. Anything you want to ask about yarn, and I am going to try to answer them all. We'll see. All right, so I don't know if that was helpful, Linda, but that just spurred a thought to do that. And again, okay, Archer Renee, she says, "Hi everyone, peering out behind my phone. Have a happy weekend and blessings. Will watch later live." Thank you, Terry, and thank you again. You brought us up. We're like 15. Is it $15 away now? So thank you so much. Of course, if we do go over the $100 mark, I'm gonna have to defer the song until I get home in Maryland, which is gonna be 2 weeks from today. I'm hoping to be there if the car doesn't break down and everything goes well. So yeah. Um, oh, Linda Jones, that is so beautiful. She says, "You're gonna make me cry." Says the Queen has gone to see how a real king lives in his kingdom. Right? Absolutely. I believe I believe she was a very godly person. I hope to see her someday myself. I really do. Um, wow, what a joy. Um, yeah. And Wanda says, "Hello, Miss Bonnie and everyone from sunny Bahama, North Carolina. Praying all are well." Yeah, I am too. Um, okay, so thanks for telling us about that yarn thing, Linda. I'm gonna have to check that out afterwards and see what that's all about. And thank you, Wanda. Thank you for I'm guessing the thumbs up. I'm guessing that means going to the other channel. Thank you for supporting them. I would love to see an increase in subscribers on the Biblical History channel. I think right now they only have like 84 subscribers. I mean, it's a long way from their for their channel to be contributing financially to their nonprofit. But I would love it if you guys could just subscribe and just take a look at a couple of the videos. Again, they're just 2 minutes. This is going back to the Biblical History Center, but if you could do that as a favor to me, that would just really bless me. And if you know of any friends who are interested in that kind of history, that information, um, it's very friendly. Just to let you know too, it's friendly to all faiths. Um, they get tremendous support from, like I said, from Israel, and you know, it's just across the board, just hands down, just an excellent organization, and it's not partisan to any particular sect or anything. Just to let you know, it's straight up history, and very archaeologically based. So thank you, Wanda. Um, and let's see, Elizabeth. Um, ah, yeah, by the grace of God, only by the grace of God can I say I'm a Christian, because it's all that He's done, my friend. Nothing that I have been able to do on my own, I promise you. And we have Donna from Arizona, and all right, so we have Holy Four Kid from Georgia. Hey, so glad to have you with us, and we have Jacqueline from a hot and humid Los Angeles. Said we're finally getting some much needed rain. And Jane, so good to see you, Jane, from West Springfield, Massachusetts. I guess that's home of the Basketball Hall of Fame. Yay! I got to go there in 1989, and that's about all I remember of Massachusetts, Springfield, other than it was a beautiful drive and it was great to get out of the Boston area for just a little while. Love Boston, then it was just kind of cool to drive to the western part of the state for that. We have Discovering Hope from upstate New York. Oh, another beautiful area. Um, and Elaine, and let's see, Stephanie. And hey, Hannah, thank you for being our admin person, our moderator today. And gosh, thank you we missed you last week. I just want you to know we all missed you. We had to give Hannah the day off so she could spend with her brother, and Joseph, and Sarah, his wife. Um, she's had a great time at home. She's gotten to hike around Harper's Ferry and on the Appalachian Trail. Ah, I hope your legs are recovered from that, honey. um, yes, Archer and Ace. She says Queen Elizabeth was a devoted Christian. Yes, she was the head of the church from the age of 25. Can you believe that? That's just such an incredible. Oh, I can't talk about it much because I'll start crying. But whew, such an incredible reign. The longest reigning ever, I believe, in history. Okay, I'm gonna have to tell a story now. I mentioned this on my Facebook page to somebody from England, but oh, I don't know if I can tell the story. Oh, okay, I'm gonna give it a try. Pardon any tears. They're tears of joy. Um, my dad took me when I was a little girl to see the Queen Elizabeth II. It was the ship, which, as those of you who know history know, later on, this ship actually sank. Um, Somewhere it was going to be refurbished, and it didn't make it. but it had been in port and anchored at Port Everglades near Fort Lauderdale, Florida, many years ago. This, I believe, was during the early 70s. Or it might have even been the late 60s, maybe 69 to 70s, around in there. I was just little, I was very little. And my dad wanted to go on board the ship and walk around and see it, get a tour of it, which we did. My mom didn't want to go. I remember that they fought about that, and my mom lost, thank goodness. And my dad said, "No, we're gonna take Bonnie on this, and we're gonna look at this ship." And so when we were there, I looked and was just marveled at this beautiful ship. Of course, I've never been on a modern day cruise, just to let you know. So the biggest boat I have ever been on was the Queen Elizabeth II, and that was not to sail it; it was just to tour it when it was in port. But when we were there, he brought a little postcard. Oh, so beautiful, of the Queen in all her regalia, and I still have that. I would always take it out when I was a little girl and just dream, just, oh, she looks so beautiful in her crown. And I know this maybe kind of silly to you all, but it's a memory of my late dad. So woo, um, ooh. Anyway, okay, give me a minute. Okay, breathe. All right. So anyway, precious memories. And then in 2019, my husband and I got to, when we were in London, with we were taking tours with the Ligonier Ministries, and we got to go to Windsor Castle. That was amazing. So I mean, obviously the Queen was not there at the time, but we learned a lot about about the Queen. Got to see Westminster Abbey, and got to see a lot of things. Unfortunately, Big Ben was under construction at the time, so we didn't get to hear Big Ben. But I told my husband we need to go back just so that we could see Big Ben and hear the chimes. But we had a wonderful time in the UK, in London, and then the surrounding areas. For about 8 days. That was just fantastic, and that was again right before the shutdown. But anyway, just yeah, just really pleasant memories, and I love watching the Netflix series The Crown. There's just a couple episodes that I would say, yeah, parental guidance suggested, but just love learning about more about this woman and just how strong she has been, not just for Great Britain, but for the entire world. I mean, for the world. I mean, she was there from Winston Churchill all the way through, yeah, the lady who just became prime minister 2 days ago. So, such an incredible reign. Uh, anyway, thank you for being patient with me on this, but just to let you all know, this is really affecting us Americans too. So, all right. So we have Janie from Holland and Pat Dancer from Texas. Hey, Pat, and Shati Shatika. What a beautiful name. And let's see, Phyllis, Michelle. Thank you guys for being here. And yes, Kelly, the Queen had a beautiful heart. I think she did. Just hearing some of the funny things that she said too just really blessed me. Um, just how she would. Oh, I know. She she was in the army as a princess. I mean, many of you may know this already, but my daughter knew this, but I learned it yesterday. She was in the army when she was a princess before before her father passed away, and she learned how to be a car mechanic. Basically, she worked on the vehicles, and would often, even as queen, I'm told, if something happened to their car that she was driving, she would get out and fix it and tinker with it herself. And I just think that's the coolest thing in the world. Growing up with my father, I used to be out in the front yard. We were oftentimes the family that had the car in the yard up on the cinder blocks. Sorry, guys, that was us. And my dad was a car mechanic for a living. And he would have me out there, taking carburetors off of cars and, working on the spark plugs and stuff like that. I mean, I did that too. Got my hands all full of grease with my dad, and I absolutely loved it. So when I heard she knew car mechanics, I thought, oh my gosh, this woman is amazing. And when the the leader, I don't know his official name. Forgive me for not knowing that, but from Saudi Arabia, where women are not allowed to drive cars. She got out of the driver's somebody got her out of the driver's seat. She got in the car and she drove this leader where who forbids women in his country to drive, and she drove him around when he visited her, and I thought, dang, that's amazing. That is just beautiful. So anyway, I'm really looking forward to seeing this amazing person in heaven. I hope I get to see her there. I know she'll be there, and I know the Lord has paid my price to get in. So I am really looking forward to that day. Lots to look forward to. Oh, I can yak and yak and yak, but anyway, I hope you guys don't mind me waxing eloquence here just a little bit. So excited. Well, let me go ahead. There's so many people in the chat. I want to say hey to you, but I want to show you some things too. I may have shown these to you already. Preview of things to come. They're not coming just this week, but in the weeks as the fall progresses, we have the Easy Bobble Scarf coming, and this is the same scarf in the solid. I know you've seen this before. It is, I believe, a really good skill builder for a beginner crocheter and an intermediate project. You've seen this, but it's coming. The popcorn cowl, and this is so much fun. Let me show you. I'll wear it for just a few minutes, but this popcorn cowl is coming. I use this universal yarn called Fluffily. And it only takes one cake of it. And I mean, you can see how this can easily go underneath, underneath your coat or whatever, and it be really great. Easy off, easy on. Excuse me. Already up on the channel as of last Monday are the Karamak cabled set. This is, let me show you, this is a hot pad. It has 2 layers. The back is just single crochet. The front uses very, very safe and great for pot holders, as well as putting hot things on your countertops. If you're old school like me, you have Formica or a countertop that you need to have a little bit of something so that it doesn't scorch it. These come in very handy. Of course, if you've got your granite countertops and all that, or marble, you don't have to worry about it. But some of us are still old school. Even if you don't need it, it can really make things look really cool as well. But again, very practical on the pot holder side of things. This appears in the current edition. This is October 2022 edition of Crochet World magazine. There is a link for this in the video description. If you are not a subscriber, you can get the copy of the pattern in my Lovecraft store as well as in my Etsy store. But I just love getting Crochet World magazine. They're not paying me to say this. I've been a fan since I was a teenager. I have been a subscriber off and on. Let me see, I'm trying to find it. Yeah. Watch it be all the way in the back. Hold on a second. Well, trust me, it's in here. But what's really cool about this particular edition, oh, here we go. So just wanted to prove to you, it is in here. But what's really nice about this edition is it's all about a lot of crochet cable designs. Also some really fun, kid-friendly hats. If you're looking for something fun and for them to wear in the fall. That. And oh, look there, Kelly. There's another doily for Kelly Hart if Kelly wants to make another doily, different style. And this is gonna make me cry. There's this wonderful article in here about Bridget's cradles. This is supporting women who've had miscarriages, and it's an amazing ministry. And you can read all about it and how to contribute. should you be one of those who likes to crochet for charities. Um, I haven't really done a lot of crocheting for charities, but I guess I like to donate cold hard cash to them personally, because I think that helps them a lot too, but it's just easier for me to do that. But lots of, I mean, I have done some crocheting for charity. Um, it's just been a while. Um, but anyway, look at it. And of course, you've seen the beautiful throw on the front. So lots to see, and this comes out 4 times a year. Now, if you are a member of Crochet Guild of America, there's another magazine that I also get called Crochet Magazine. It's crochet and an exclamation mark. And if you join as a member, those come kind of complimentary. Again, have very nice designs in it as well. I just love the way Crochet World over the years, they have an assortment of things. They have things for beginners as well as some things to challenge even an intermediate in their skills. And I personally know the editors. I got to meet Britt in New Orleans, and of course the editor that retired before her, Jackie, as well as uh, the lady before her, I knew personally. Very good ladies. It's just a really good magazine. All right, let's see, what else can I show you. I can tell you that Shannon's Wandering Throw is coming September 19th. I don't have it here to show you because it's in Maryland, but it's an aqua teal kind of, it's a teal colored throw, and it has a lot of cables on it, and I think you'll really like it. Actually, the cables are the same cabling system that are used in this Rahab's scarf. They're just put together a little bit differently, and there are a lot more of them, and it features a large honeycomb section in the middle. So you can learn some new skills if you're not familiar with those, and it will be coming with a complete video tutorial, of course. And if you want to get ready for that, it requires 19 balls or skeins of Universal Yarns Uptown Worsted in Sapphire number 331. Or you can use approximately 3,500 yards of your favorite worsted weight yarn. So, if you're in, a country outside the US and it's just going to cost double just to have things shipped, you don't have to buy the same brand. I mean, just find whatever is your favorite worsted or Aran weight yarn. But if you're interested in trying the Uptown worsted yarn, it is very nice. I have not found any knots in the yarn yet, which is pretty amazing. So it's on par with the Lovecrafts yarn. So the Lovecraft, I have links for both of those, I believe, in my video description. But I also highly recommend the Lovecrafts paint box yarns, and Lovecrafts oftentimes has really deep discounted sales, and sometimes they have the Universal yarn on sale as well. So they carry a lot of other different brands as well. So it's a really good place to check out if you if you don't have a local yarn supply where you can get basically a basket load of yarn all in the same dye lot. So 19 in the same dye lot is kind of hard to manage at your local Michael's store. But then again, they may be able to order that as well. All right, I am way behind here, guys, on the comments, so I'm going to try to catch up with some of this. Wow, lots of people in the chat now. Thank you. We have Jody Wilson from Iowa, and let's see, Moon Lee from Berlin. Wow. I think I'm going to be in Berlin sometime in November. Not sure if it's Berlin or if it's Munich, but I'll have to talk to my husband and find out. Take a look at our airline ticket. We're flying out of one of those places and in November, so that would be so much fun to meet you, Moonly. But I know that might be kind of hard to arrange. We have See, oh, thank you, Kathy. I'm so glad that you're here. And let's see. Thank you guys for welcoming her into the chat. And Nancy Lanny loves to craft. She says, thank you for your kind words on the birth of my granddaughter. Oh, congratulations. You are a blessed lady. And and Denise from looks like Canada. And let's see. Wanda says, "Oh bummer, got to go buy yarn. Yeah, what a bummer. I might have to just make a trip to that yarn store." And Swati, hey, I'm so glad that you're in the chat today. She says, "Running to PT physical therapy again on another hot day in LA. Hope everyone is well. I hope your physical therapy is bringing you to that good place where you need to be, my friend." Um, Michelle from Montana says, yeah, her address must be right because she gets bills there. Okay. Yeah, I think it's just the post office. Just they need to update their computers for the self serve thing. I tried to do the self serve and I got discouraged and I decided to. I didn't wait in the line that day because there are about 30 people in the line and I'm like, I'll come back and talk to them. So yesterday I caught him at a lull. And let's see, we have Mel's Kitchen. Just having some peach cobbler and coffee while watching. Oh, yum, yum. Reminds me, my mother-in-law, she has so much fresh fruit here, mostly locally grown. She's got a bunch of peaches in the refrigerator. Um, just to let you know, I've been existing here. I've been thriving here actually in South Carolina. Got some locally grown watermelons that are still very sweet, which is unusual for this late. I mean, we're in September. Usually July is the peak, of the really good watermelons. For those of you who know watermelons in the South, but picked up a couple at a local stand. They might have been just late bloomers, but they're really good and they're pretty fully developed. And hint for those of you in the South, or not who aren't in the South and who don't know this, seeded watermelons taste a lot better than the ones that are seedless. Just FYI, if you're a watermelon connoisseur like me, I'm more than happy to pick out those black seeds to enjoy sweet watermelon. I've had the seedless. They just don't. It's just not the same. But anyway, I got two really wonderful seeded watermelons. I'm almost finished with one. I'm going to be starting my second one. And I don't know how many of you all like boiled peanuts. In the South, they call them boiled peanuts, but boiled, Boiled. My mother-in-law and I got some from a local stand, and quite honestly, they weren't that great. And so they were okay, and they were small, and half of them didn't even have peanuts inside of them. And so my mother-in-law and I looked at each other, and I just said, "Mrs. Barker, these are okay, but yours are so much better." And then she just said, "I know. Let's go get some." So we went lickety split to the IGA, which is a very small little store, which is fantastic. You can get in and out in like 2 minutes. And right at the entry, they had a big shopping cart full of fresh, like, fresh raw peanuts in the shell. And so we got about 10 pounds of those, brought them home, boiled them down with probably, no joke, 2 to 3 cups of salt. Yeah, not teaspoons, cups of salt. And then you let them soak after boiling for a few hours. And man, they are a fantastic. And we may be coming out with a video on that. I'm not sure if I'm going to put it on my YouTube channel or just let that be for my watch subscribers. But be on the lookout this fall for how to boil, how to make boiled peanuts, a southern specialty. Um, I discovered them about 5 years ago, and I love them. I have to be real careful how many I eat because of the salt, but I absolutely love these things. So anyway, hey Kelly, we got Kelly Dye in the chat. Hey, it's so good to see you. She says, hope everyone is doing well. Kelly, make sure you check out the Facebook page. You got a ton of comments on there, admirers for your work. So thank you for sending me those photos. You're breathing some life into my Facebook page with the work of your hands, my friend. And we have Elaine. Yeah, nomads. Yeah, that was the word I was looking for, Elaine. Thank you. Um, I could blame that on COVID brain, but uh, actually, I've done some more things this past week. But I think I told you the worst of it last week, leaving my wallet at home while embarking on an 8-hour road trip. Not the brightest bulb in the box that day, that's for sure. Um, but anyway, I have my wallet now. I am doing fine. Just can't rely on my memory as much as I could before. Not that I ever could before, but anyway. And we have Christy from Colorado. Oh, one of my favorite states to visit. I'm trying to think of whether I'm going to apply to the Yarn Fest for next year. I'm thinking I might, but I'm still thinking about it. Would love to go back. Christine says, I'm watching just on vacation and helping my friend in um, the Houghton, Lake Michigan. Probably mispronounced that one. So incredibly beautiful here, up here in northern Michigan. I'm taking my crochet outside. I'm watching a groundhog. Oh wow! I hope you don't have a garden. We had a groundhog destroy our garden one year. Well, that sounds like fun. And we have Georgetta from the UK. Again, condolences to you, Georgetta. So sorry for your loss with your queen. And oh, thank you, Kelly Hart. You're so sweet with your kind comments there. And let's see. Heather says, watching and working. Can we say multitasking? Glad to be back live. Yeah. Thank you, Hannah, for putting that link in there to history, the Biblical History Center. So these are, yeah, Hannah's brother and sister-in-law too. And and Kathy says, I've been in one of the Roman catacombs. Fascinating. Yeah, it's really amazing. Going the one that I wonder if we were in the same one that was in Rome, on the outskirts. Pretty fascinating stuff. I'll just tell a quick little story that I can remember. You know, basically the Romans were superstitious. They were, of course, they worship pagan gods, and uh, the Christians have always been a persecuted people off and on, and it was happening big time to them in Rome. And so a lot of the Christians would live in the catacombs, which is where the dead were buried. So the Romans were afraid to go in. They wouldn't go in there because of they're superstitious, they're superstition, and so the Christians were safe. They would go in there and they would basically live in the place in the catacombs. So yeah, kind of dark, but you got to do sometimes. Desperate times, desperate measures, I guess. Um, so I hope that answers your question, Kelly. You can probably look it up on Google online, or even go to the Biblical History Center and look at some of their videos, and that will tell you. Um, Michelle says, sounds so interesting. We'll check out their channel after this live. Thank you, Michelle. Um, oh, thank you, Carmen. She says, love the shawls behind you. Thank you. Yeah, this one's a one cake wonder, just one cake of number 3 weight color changing yarn from Lion Brand. I think I picked this up on a Walmart trip, to be honest with you. I just saw it and I thought that's pretty. I'll get that, and made something up with it. And it's like one of those weekend wonders thing. You can do it in a weekend easily. And yes, Kathy, that the pattern is not available yet, but it is coming to my channel in the next few weeks. If you guys can subscribe, you will get and when you subscribe to the channel. I don't ask that a lot. If you could subscribe and then hit the notification bell, then you'll be notified when this comes about. It will be coming soon. Like I said, I have several other things. I finished an Afghan this week. I can't wait to show it to you. I did the Afghan, no joke, in 2 days without hurting myself. Used a size L crochet hook and thick cushy yarn from Universal Yarns, but it's just a very cushy velvety yarn. Oh my gosh, it feels so amazing and squishy. And that's not anything that that I did special. It's just the manufacture of the yarn is just really really nice. So I'm really looking forward to bringing that. That'll probably be sometime in October to November. Um, and to let you all know, from mid October through mid November, I'm going to be gone. So I will be releasing things. I'm going to have a lot of things scheduled on my website. And for my watch channel people, I'm going to have like once, like mid October, I'm going to do just a document dump into the watch channel. So you're going to get everything ahead of everybody else with the patterns and all. Um, Before I go out of the country, because we're actually going to the Holy Land starting in Rome. And this is a tour that we were supposed to take in 2020, which obviously didn't happen. So we've been waiting a couple years. It'll be my first time on a real cruise ever. First time ever. Like I said, prior to this, the biggest ship I'd ever been on, well, it'd be a toss up between a Queen Elizabeth II, which I think was bigger than the Queen Mary. I got to see the Queen Mary. It's stationed at, or it's docked. It's kind of part of San Diego, I believe it. Yeah, San Diego. And Hannah and I got to go on the Queen Mary because, again, not sailing, just touring it. It's actually a hotel now. If you're ever in San Diego and you want to stay on the Queen Mary for the night, you can. But I will say that it's very nostalgic. It's also very old. So if you're used to the modern cruises and big fancy ships, this is something in the past. But anyway, I've never been on a ship like that out at sea before, so I hope I don't need too much Dramamine. I don't know how that's going to be, but we're going to be gone for about a month, so I may leave Hannah or somebody in charge of my social media. Not sure, Hannah or Becky or whomever wants to take that. It's a paying job, Hannah, if you want it. um, so I may be in and out of internet accessibility for about a month. So but I just to let you know that I am going to be releasing things by scheduling them. But if you're a watch subscriber, I'm going to go boom. You're going to see a bunch of things uploaded at one time, patterns and all. Of course, it'll be a month before I upload more. But if you're not a subscriber to the watch channel, and that's something you want to consider, it's $6.95 a month. If you go for the whole year, you kind of get 2 months free. So it's like what, 69.50 or something like that for the year. So if that's something that you're thinking about, just to let you know, there are over 400 videos there. So hundreds of designs. There are many complementary patterns that go with that. Not everything is complementary on the pattern because there are many designs that I don't own because they're owned by my publisher, but there are many things that don't appear on this channel at all. This is kind of material that I kind of have it in a safer place, and there are many complementary patterns to all of those. So exclusive designs is another way of saying it. There are exclusive content there, and everything, of course, has a video tutorial. There's some behind the scenes things, not a lot, but some. And all of it is without spam-o, without interruptions with commercials. There's none of that on this channel. It's just pure instructional time, and you can always reach me there through the there is a place where you can communicate with me directly as well. So if that's something that you're interested in, please give it a try. You can look at the channel by going to the link. It's in the video description, watch.bonniebabecrochet.com. And you can, just kind of look at the thumbnails of all the videos that are there. Of course, you can't watch them unless you're a subscriber, but you can get a feel for, that the size and just kind of how that operates. If you go to the site and then hit browse, you can look. You have to hit browse though to get in to see all the different videos. And just about everything that I have is also, there is a section for left-handed videos, so I have you lefties covered there as well. All right. That's about as sales pitchy as I'm going to get today. Sorry about that, but this is just something I feel real good about, and it's just a place where I can keep some of my designs safe for just a little while longer. I could tell you a story, but I'll I'll not get into too much, but I will say do be careful about buying, because I saw more theft, more bad stuff going on this week with some of my patterns. This is different than the one that I told you about a couple weeks ago. People selling things on eBay and on Etsy that they really have no authority to. If you ever see any PDF downloads of my work on Etsy, now if someone is reselling a book that they purchased, or even if they're, let's say they are maybe reselling an old copy of Crochet World magazine, if it's a physical copy or something, they can sell that. That's not a problem at all. If they want to sell one of my books that is in print, it's a hard copy, not a problem. But I did find a seller selling PDF downloads of my work from published works. And that's a no-no. So if you ever see any site other than the Bonnie Bay Crochet site, and it's not something that's owned by Crochet World magazine or something like that, if you see it on Etsy and it's another seller you don't recognize, and it's a PDF download of my work, please let me know. So I can report this to the publisher, and so I can have it taken down. And if there's a way that you find to report, whether it's my work or another, crochet or knit designer that and that, oh, they wouldn't sell their stuff, that person doesn't have authority, report them. I so appreciate you guys, because I'm finding out about these because other people are letting me know, and I stumble upon them occasionally, and yeah, and it was very easy to have some of them taken down, which has been dealt with, but yeah, but I just want to also encourage you to not buy from people like that, not just because they're violating copyrights, but because it might be a scam. Okay, so just be careful. eBay, these other sites, just be careful. I mean, you can get some great deals from places like that. I get that. I have gotten some great things. I'm expecting something from Etsy in the mail any day now, but it's a physical thing that I'm buying. So actually I'm getting a Bible cover for my Bible so I can throw away the box that it came in because it's getting kind of raggedy. But anyway, just wanted to just put a word out there. I don't want to belabor that point because I know I'm preaching to the choir here. You guys don't do that, but you may see others who do. It's just not cool. All right, Lynn Guider, so good to see you, my Chicago friend. You are so encouraging. I can't wait to meet you, Lynn. We're gonna have to party at a conference at some point. We're gonna have to just get together and just, I don't know, get a meal out, or I don't know, get a group of people together and just talk yarn. It'd be great to meet you someday. That goes for any of you guys. But if any of you follow my Facebook page or anything, for even 5 minutes, or put any of your stuff online, you've been encouraged by this gal, Lynn. She just is just a super encourager, and this is what this world needs, is more people like you, Lynn. Oh, thank you, Hannah, for putting the definition of a catacomb. Hannah looked it up. She says it's an underground cemetery consisting of a subterranean galley with recesses for tombs as constructed by the ancient Romans. Christian people stayed in a lot of them to escape persecution. Yep, right on. And yeah, thank you, Selena, for your kind words there. And Mel's Kitchen. And oh, Harriet, so good to have you in the chat today. She says, just realized what time it was. So glad you could be with us. And Mama K Crochet says, finally able to make one of Bonnie's lives, usually working and have to catch the replay. Oh, I love your name. That is such a great YouTube name. And oh, thank you, Michelle. I'm glad that worked on the yarn info. And Denise Graham is with us. Yeah, we are grieving with you, Denise. I'm so sorry. And now Susan says, hi Bonnie, I have some number 2 weight bamboo and cotton yarn that I want to make a shawl with, and I have never worked with bamboo. Was wondering how that would work out. That would be wonderful. I think it would be wonderful for a shawl, because for a shawl, I'm gonna go ahead and take this off. And actually, I have to say, I'm not getting overheated as I remove it. I just forgot I was wearing it. That's the one thing that's great about natural fibers is they don't overheat you. I mean, if you're wearing it out in 95 degree heat, that's not a good idea. But you know, like inside, it's like 73 in here, and this was not overheating me at all because natural fibers breathe. It used to be animal hair, and it breathed for the animal, and it's it's natural. This is not bamboo. This is acrylic, and it's not. It's somewhat drapey. No, this is not acrylic. No, 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 no. This is alpaca. Anyway, the bamboo is very drapey. So I think if you're making a shawl or like a scarf or something like that, that would be fantastic. I think that would really work well for you. The only thing about bamboo is it tends to be a little on the slippery side, so that when you go to weave in the ends, it might be a little challenging. You need to make sure that you weave them in well, but since it's blended with cotton, that may help give it a little resistance. um, so if you do bamboo, um, I just wouldn't want to do bamboo with something where you're changing the colors a lot, where you have a lot of loose ends to hide. That would be really tricky, just because it's, like I said, a very satiny kind of a slippery kind of yarn. But that makes, trust me, that's going to be beautiful for something drapey like a shawl. That's going to look out of this world. And please send me a picture when you're done. I would love to see your work. And if you give me permission to post, I love to post the work of people, of the works of your hands. Um, let's see. Thank you for your prayers, Kelly. You're so sweet to the people in the chat. And Anya says, my name is Anya from the Netherlands, and I have made some projects from you, projects made from natural fibers. Excellent. I would love to see if you can send photos to me at bonniebay@me.com, and that way you can, send a good, a good size photo, not the smallest, but at least medium, or at least okay, good, the phone stopped. At least, a medium to large photo quality, at least, because that way uh, I can share it and it'll look good. It's hard to share when you send me pictures. Sometimes when people send them in Messenger, I love seeing the work, but I always ask for people to resend, because when you send them on social media, it naturally compresses them down. And after you compress it so much, eventually it kind of makes the resolution really fuzzy, if you know what I mean. So that's why I oftentimes, if you've gotten a note from me saying, could you please send this to me, that's why. Because if I reshare something from social media, from Messenger, a lot of times it's just too fuzzy to really share. So thank you for considering that. We have Daisy from New Mexico, and Angie, and Karen, and let's see, Donna. So glad to have you ladies with us, and Jacqueline, and let's see, and is it? I need to get new glasses here. Olia. She said looking forward to watching the channel. Thank you, and oh, thank you, Jane. Yeah, Jane said the video I did last year, at the Biblical History Museum, or especially Biblical History Center, was so very interesting. I will subscribe for sure. Yeah, it was just interesting. Christy, it took me a year or so to get there, because it's a 2-day drive from where I live, to visit my kids in Georgia, which is why I'm gonna take a little jaunt over there when I'm done here in South Carolina. I don't get to do that very often, but it took us about a year to get together to do that video with Christy, because Christy's just very knowledgeable about the fibers of the Middle East and of the ancient times. Okay, we have oh, Deborah, first time viewer from Virginia. Deborah, welcome to my channel. So glad you could be here. And Joan from Baja, Mexico. Ah, hola, buenos dias, Joan. Thank you for coming. And thanks for greeting everybody, Wanda. And oh, Jane says Basketball Hall is Springfield. I'm right across the river. Huh? How cool is that? You guys know cold winters up there. I know. That was the only winter in my life that I actually drove a car on a lake. Actually, my husband drove the car. I got to ride in it, but wow. Up Lake Winnipesaukee, which is just north of you guys in Massachusetts, up in New Hampshire, just across the border though. And we have Freaky Geek. Hey, Freaky Geek, haven't seen you in a while. Just we'll be lurking and listening while I spin some. Hope all are well. Wow, more power to you, sister. And let's see, Hannah, thank you for doing such a fantastic job, honey. Um, and thank you, Jacqueline, for your prayers for Hannah. This mama really appreciates that so much. And Daisy from New Mexico, and I'm seeing it. Okay, I'm trying to read some of these names. I'm not reading them very well. Is it Free Handley? In You're welcome to our channel, and let's see. All right, and Cynthia Burke. Hey, Cynthia, it's good to see you in the chat. Well, it is 1:06, y'all, and I do need to start wrapping this up. Let me see if there's anything. Oh, one more thing. Um, I'm getting closer on the beginning book. Just to let you know that there is a beginning book. It's called Bonnie's Book of Beginning Crochet, or something like that. But the book subtitle is Everything You Need to Know to Start Crocheting Today. And I really believe that everything that you need to know to start crocheting is in the book and more. So I'm really excited about this. It's not one of those encyclopedias where you have to read, 3 months of reading before you get to the actual doing. It's designed to get you doing, read 10 minutes and then just start doing it. And it's going to have 18 designs. It's going to have video tutorials for all of them for right and left handers. And where you used to have to type in the links of the past, this book is going to have QR codes. Well, all you got to do is take your phone, hold it up to that little square thing, and boom, it takes you right to the video. There's no hunting and pecking for letters and trying to figure out, is it an L, is it a 1, on the links, and is that a space or is it a dash? None of that. So it's in the hands. It's going through the second editing process. It's been edited once. Um, the almost but not quite is being edited for the second time with one of my editors, and then my other editor, Becky, Eagle Eye Becky. She's my daughter. She's both of the girls editing have degrees in history, and they're excellent writers, and they are crocheters as well. So they're the ones handling that, and there's nothing sweeter than finding a mistake in your mama's work. So they are motivated to find all the errors, if any. Well, I know there are some. There always is, because it's touched by human hands, as are all but this, but all works. But anyway, I wanted to end. Wait a minute, I see Debbie Diaz. Let me just go ahead and say hey to you. Good to see you in the chat. And Bobby is there. Hey, Bobby, Crafty Kentucky. Good to see you, my friend. I'm hoping to be able to stop by and see you in a week or so, or a little more than a week, maybe 10 days. I don't know. So I'm really hoping that works out. We have Tanike. Oh, she says we are mourning the queen, so not sleeping that well. Yes, Tanike, we talked about that. Wow. My condolences to you, my friend. We're feeling that here too, but I know not to the same extent that you all are in Great Britain. Thank you, Jane, for the well wishes on the trip, and yep, I'm gonna try to stop by and see Bobby. Hopefully, I need to reserve my hotel room in that area, but yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, Cynthia, in response, yeah, you're right. Some people just want the bucks without any work, so disrespectful. Yeah, it's against the law, but like I've said before, when people do stuff like that, there will be a day of reckoning. I mean, the books will be cleared and made even on that day. I I don't wish that on anybody, honestly. I don't wish condemnation on anybody. I don't. Neither does the Lord. He wants everybody to repent and to, see the light and come around to what's right. But some people won't. But yeah, there will be the books will be made even on that day. But yeah, it's just a pain. um, but it's just so good that that's not the main thing. That's not all that matters in this world. So that's at least the hope part of it. Um, and we have, let's see, I just want to make sure I don't miss anybody. Robin from Florida. Hey, Robin, I can't say bye bye without saying hello to a Floridian. And to Joan too. Hey, Joan. And yeah, Cynthia, thank you. She says, love the yarn bowl on the table. You do? Well, thank you. I think there's a link for this in the video description. It's just from Knit Picks, and it's made out of maple wood. It's one of my favorites. Let me just show you. It's deeper than the little ones, and that's really nice because it keeps this in here. And this is the yarn I'm working with. I am swatching for a new design. I can't tell you what it is, but I'm really, really, I had one of those aha moments before I went live today, of combining two ideas that I had, and I've been stumped because I'm using this special yarn. It's 50% silk. This stuff is amazing. Talk about drape. It's wool and silk, hand dyed, and it's by the same. Let's go ahead and talk about it. It's by the same indie dyer who dyed the yarn for the Eileen scarf. You know, the yarn with the yak and the merino wool and silk. Well, this is yarn from her. She's called the Banshee dyer or something like that. But anyway, I'll be telling you more about that. That'll be something probably coming either late fall or early winter. So really excited about that. All right. Oh, thank you, Robin. And we have Ivana from Bosnia. Wow. And I'm not going to say the other word because I'll mess it up. But Bosnia, is it? Oh, I'm sorry. Forgive me. But I'm so glad that you can be here, Ivana. I can pronounce that. Cynthia says she loves the purple. Yeah, the purple is really nice. And I'm going to do something with some lace with this. It's going to be fun. Well, I wanted to end by reading you some words of encouragement. And I decided to read this yesterday before I even got news of the Queen, but it does refer to, to kings and queens, I guess you could say, on the earth. But let me go ahead and read. This is from Psalm 138, starting with verse 4 through verse number 8, should you want to look this up. All the kings of the earth shall give you thanks, O Lord, for they have heard the words of your mouth. And they shall sing of the ways of the Lord, for great is the glory of the Lord. For though the Lord is high, he regards the lowly, but the haughty he knows from afar. Though I walk in the midst of trouble, you preserve my life. You stretch out your hand against the wrath of my enemies, and your right hand delivers me. The Lord will fulfill his purpose for me. Your steadfast love, O Lord, endures forever. And I love this verse too. Do not forsake the work of your hands. Just love that. I hope you guys have an amazing week, and I hope to see you next Friday. If I do, it'll be broadcasting from Georgia. And if I have to skip, like I said, if I have to skip a week again, I will let you know. I will put a notification in the community section of the YouTube channel. But anyway, I look forward to seeing you and hope that I can broadcast next Friday. God bless. Bye-bye.